How's it going, YouTube? I wanted to make a little video on this saw that I just picked up. It's a older RYOBI BT3000. Got it for 50 bucks and thought I was getting a deal until I got it home and realized that I had to put 3 or 4 times what I paid for the saw into it to get it to work right. But such is life. Still a cool little saw. Video is probably going to be a little shaky here, so forgive me for that. But this is kind of my little intro setup to woodworking as an adult. Probably like most of you guys, I had a woodworking class in high school, making, you know, the bowl and the dovetail box and the clock and all the things. But yeah, I decided to get into it now as an adult, and this is kind of where I'm starting at. So just kind of figured I'd make a little video on the saw and kind of try and get all the awkwardness out of talking on a camera, because I'm definitely not that guy. But you know, might as well, right? Be cool to have a little story. I put a lot of money into this thing so far, a lot more than I was anticipating. But getting the, sorry for the lighting too, but getting the cross-cut sled working correctly, adjusted, all that stuff, making sure that, you know, it was true and actually running square with the blade. Obviously replaced the blade. I added this dual slot miter fence that I found on eBay, just to give me a little bit more deck space. And then ended up having to buy this fence clamp because it was missing, which of course he didn't tell me that in the video or in the description of the listing that I bought this thing. So the other thing was the shims, the infamous shims down inside of the motor mount plate came out, and I had to order new shims. So all in all, I probably got, I don't know, 225, 230, maybe 250 bucks into this thing. And yeah, so I mean, it's working. I actually dropped this sled trying to move it around and busted off the keeper. I don't know if it'll focus or not, but I busted off the little keeper that locks this thing into place. But I gotta take it to my job and see if I can get it in a drill press to drill it out, because whatever it is, it's hardened. My regular high-speed stainless didn't even touch it. So yeah, this is the saw. I was gonna film yesterday, but I kind of was just in a hurry. But I'm making a set of shelf, well, a shelf, cabinet, shelf-ish, whatever you want to call it, for my daughter's toys. So that's the stack. I've got pretty decent results on the saw, with the exception of, I found out at the very last second that let me see if I can get it to focus here. At the very last second, when I was ripping these, the blade kept catching for some reason. I couldn't figure out what it was. I literally made all of my cuts at 13.5 wide and then ripped them to 13.5 so I can stack these shelves up. And at the very last rip that I did, I realized that my fence was actually not square to the blade at this side here, and I'm irritated at myself for not triple checking that. But basically I knocked this thing in a 16th or an 1/8 really, and ran everything right back through it, and just knocked everything down, you know, the width of a saw blade on all the edges to kind of true everything back up, because there was a couple of pieces that were definitely out of square. I will say that having a buddy to rip this 3/4 by 4x8 sheet was beneficial, because this has a pretty small table, and being that my clip was broke, this table was wanting to slide, so I had a friend here to help to get my initial cuts, and then once I got the 4x8 ripped down, it was all pretty smooth. But had to reset 0 here. The blade wasn't actually completely true. You know, obviously I'm working out here in a driveway, so I gotta level the saw up every time I come out here. It's got leveling jacks or leveling screws on this side over here, and then I just throw a, you know, a casing shim in the side that's low, and try and get it pretty level, at least level enough, I mean, so that the table's not wobbling, and it's good enough for the girls I go with. So yeah, this is the intro video to the RYOBI BT3000 I just bought, and you know, hopefully I'll make some more videos as I do some stuff, and see how it goes. So yeah, intro video out.